Welcome to Phuket News TV. Now, as you can tell, we're at the Bangkok Phuket Hospital. Now, we're down here for the opening of the brand new Colorectal Disease Institute. Now, it's opening today, and Dr. Art is the key player down here as well. So we're here to talk to him. Now, apparently there's 90 million bahts worth of new equipment for this facility as well. So we're going to go check it out. We'll be back after this.
Looking for authentic traditional Thai cuisine? Joe Louis on the second floor of Jung Salon Patong is the dining experience you seek.
So we're standing here with Dr. Art at the Colorectal Disease Institute. Now, I believe this is the first one in Thailand.
Yes, indeed. It's the first subspecialty, which is the colorectal surgery or colorectal diseases institution in Thailand. Yes.
So can you explain a little about your path to being here today?
Right. It's been planned for years. I graduated from Prino Songkhla University in Hat Yai since 2002, and I interested in doing surgery and in doing colorectal surgery. And I've been traveling, training overseas just to be ready for this. And I actually spoke with the CEO of this hospital years back of this plan, and he wanted me to set up the new institute, set up the research system, and set up the training system for colorectal surgeon, and at the same time, of course, we'll provide the best treatment of care for this group of patients as well.
What is the prevalence of colon and rectal cancer in this country?
I would say that the prevalence has been very low in the past, but since we have adopted a lot of new culture, especially diet from overseas. So, for example, we've been taking less fiber, more meat, red meats in particular. So that brought up our incidence of these colorectal diseases, especially colon and rectal cancers, to be increased. And Phuket is just a unique island that we have lots of international people living here, working here. So for overseas people, it's been known for years that those populations have very high incidence of colon and rectal diseases.
What is the worst thing that people can put into their bodies to digest?
The worst thing?
Yeah.
I would say, again, red meat, lots of meat on your plate, less vegetables, and those processed food, those that you can find easily in the supermarket or even 24-hour shop out there.
Is it more prevalent in men or women, or does it matter?
In some country, men would be having higher incidence of colon rectal cancers, but in Thailand, so far, we have equal incidence of colon rectal cancer in both in men and women.
How easy is colon and rectal cancer to cure?
That's a good question. We're trying to campaign the screening program. The best screening tool for colon and rectal cancers to get the patient to do the colonoscopy, and that can prevent, not only to prevent the cancer, but to pick up early cases. And if we can pick up those early cases, the treatment wouldn't be that complicated, and the expenses for the treatment would be very cheap, and the outcome would be very good.
How long does that procedure take?
Usually 15-20 minutes. It's a short procedure, and we do it as a day kind of procedure. In other words, that the patient will not need the admission do not need to stay in the hospital for this procedure.
I've had a few friends say it's a little bit uncomfortable, but they feel great afterwards. What kind of reaction do you get from your clients?
Right, you're right. Because like most of the time, people are aware of these like deadly diseases and they don't want to get one. But the thing is that they've been hurt from those bad experiences. For example, they'll be afraid of going through barbitration regimen or even the procedure itself. But here we have a special regimen to prepare the bowel, which is not going to be suffering, and we give patients sedations during the procedure so they will not feel anything, and they will like be half asleep, and as soon as they're fully awake, they'll feel okay because they will not be remembering any pain or any bad experiences.
Yeah. And what got you into this particular field, if you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Like to deal with the colon is kind of challenging, as you all may know that colon's got lots of stool, and stool's not a pleasant thing to deal with. But the joy in doing this field kind of practice would be that I found that this colon and rectal diseases field, we always have new technologies coming up. For example, there are always new technology for a better colonoscopy, a better screening. We even nowadays can perform like small surgery through the colonoscopy to cure the cancer. And we have like laparoscopic or keyhole surgery if we need it. And we also have here even the Da Vinci system, the robot, to perform the surgery for all the patients in both groups, like both benign conditions and cancers. And the outcomes is just much better than the conventional open surgery.
Okay, so Dr. Art, this is not the most attractive looking job. Looking great.
Yeah.
Now, we're down here in the operating room. You were just saying how much all this equipment is valued at.
It's actually 90 million baht, which is equal to 3 million American dollars.
That's quite cheap, really, when you consider how much equipment is here,
right,
and it is state of the art.
Yes.
Is that across the board?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're right. It's worth it. The price and the efficacy of the machine is just outweighed.
You were saying before about the machine. What makes it so special and easier to perform these procedures?
Right. We were at the stage of keyhole surgery, but for the robot, it's keyhole surgery, but it's way better than the conventional keyhole surgery in the past, when the tools that we usually use for the surgery would be able to move like two-dimensionals. But these tools connected to the robot arms can move 360 degrees, just like human arm. And the surgeon who's going to be sitting in the console will be looking at like three-dimensional images.
Over here?
Yes.
Yeah. So he'll be sitting there looking
Right.
at 3D images?
Right, and 10 times magnification. So what we see would be very, like what the surgeon see would be very clear, and together with a better tools, those will, in combination, will make a better, easier surgery and a better outcome.
An examination covered in your medical insurance?
Yes, we have our team to take care of that for you. Usually for screening colonoscopy, it's usually covered by most of the insurance company. And even if you have symptoms like bleeding per rectum, abdominal pain, constipation, sense of incomplete evacuation, or if you can, some patients they felt the lump before coming to the hospital. Those indications would be definitely free or like you can claim later on from your insurance company for this procedure. Yes.
Okay. And you were saying before the Western diet coming into the country, it's more prevalent here now, colon and rectal cancer. What about the traditional Thai diet? Does that have any part in colon and rectal cancer?
Usually, if we look closely into Thai diet, we usually in the old day, since Thailand you can grow anything in your backyard, and usually people just when they want to make, they want to cook for breakfast or lunch, they can just like in the old day they go to the backyard and picked up vegetables. Yeah. Those are organic. If you want to save for this for current thing, those are organic vegetables, and we usually take vegetable as the main dish. And if we would have any meat, we'll like fish would be the best, or white meat, fish or chicken would be the most common meat that we've been taking, and we usually take the spicy food. Yeah. And spicy food, in fact, it contains like capsaicin. Capsaicin is the antioxidant and anti-cancers. In some, for example, like bladder cancer, we use capsaicin as a chemotherapy to heal the bladder cancer. So in other words, if you take lots of vegetables, organic, no insecticide, and you keep taking a little bit of the spice, that would help preventing most of the cancers.
Right. Yes. And Dr. Art, you've been away for a long time, and you're originally from Hat Yai. How long have you been back in Thailand, and is it good to be in Phuket?
I've been back in Phuket and in Thailand for 2 years, and this is my first time. I've been graduated and lived in Hat Yai for a long time. This is my first time staying in Phuket for this long period of time, and I found that Phuket is a very unique area of the world where you can find all the cultures, like Western, Eastern, here, all the activities here.
You've seen it all, haven't you?
Right. And it's quite a nice place to stay, including those like beaches and good weather, comparing to like frozen weather out there.
Well, where can people go online if they want to find out more about the Colorectal Disease Institute?
Sure, you can Google those. Like there are lots of information online about colon and rectal diseases, and we also have important information for the patients on our website of our hospital, Bangkok Phuket Hospital, that you can search for the details of some diseases, treatment options, investigations, and so on.
Okay, Dr. Art, thank you for your time and all the very best.
Thank you. Thanks for your time. So thank you for having me here. Thanks.
Have it. That is Thailand's very first Colorectal Disease Institute. Now that is the first in Thailand and the first for Phuket, obviously. Dr. Art, not only a great surgeon, but a great man as well. Now, if you want to have an examination down here, it will set you back 12,000 baht. Now that's relatively cheap, considering in the US you'd be paying $1,000. Now that's $400 to have an examination done here if you have any of the symptoms or you just want to come along and check it out. We'll see you next time on Phuket News TV.
Watch us where you want, when you want. Your smartphone, tablet, laptop, anywhere, anytime. Keep informed and up to date. Phuket News TV.